Hi all, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys, we are going to be reviewing the new Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette. Let's get into it. All right guys, so I've already done my base makeup. I'm actually doing a review of the About Face Beauty foundation. So I've done my base makeup and everything off camera, and now we're going to dive into this baby, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm actually going to keep this on because I don't want to blind you guys with the mirror, but look how pretty that is. It's so stunning. When I saw the inspiration for this, I was like, I already knew it was going to be like pretty, because the colors that they were showing in the inspo, I was like, I'm like, it's giving blues, it's giving purples, it's giving pinks, it's giving, you know, shimmer. So I already knew I was probably going to like it. And I generally am not like a pinky girl, like a pinky eyeshadow girl, and I like purple. But it's something about these, especially with these, there are 6 multi-chromes in these. So you have this one here called Karina Nebula, which is this beautiful, shifty, gorgeous shade. And then you have the shade Milky Way, which is, oh, that's so pretty. Then you have the shade Jewel Box, which is this one here. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then you have, let's see, which one is this one called? This is called Southern Cross. I don't have my glasses on, so I had to like bring that up to my face. And then finally, we have this shade called what's it called? Magellanic Clouds, which is this one. I am a sucker for these type of shades. I don't know what it is about them. These kind of like goldy, peachy, pinky. They look white in the pan, but oh, okay. So when I saw the swatches of these, I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. I don't know what kind of look I want to do. Well, I kind of do. I mean, of course, it's probably going to have some pink, it's going to have some purple in it, but I think I'm going to do a purpley vibe at the top, and then I'll do something different like on the lower lash line. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so I've primed my eyes already. I'm going to grab a pencil. No, my brushes are still not clean. Life has been lifing, so I just haven't had time. And then when I did have time, I just want to take a nap. You know. So I'm going to go in with the shade Southern Lights, which is this one here. And I'm using a Rephr 15. Tap it off. And we're just going to put that in the crease. This is, you know, these shadows kind of remind me a bit of the palettes that I've used from Nomad. A lot of their tones actually remind me a bit of Natasha Denona's formula, in the sense that they can look quite light in the pan, and then when you put them on, they're much deeper and richer in pigment, because this shade looks much lighter on in the pan than it does on my eye. You know what I mean? Which I'm not mad at, but that does make me think of like Natasha's formula a bit. All right, now I'm going to go into this shade Auckland Stardome. All right, I'm going to use my classic crease from the Sonia G Sky eye set. And I'm only using a little bit of this because, again, this shade is so pigmented, this Southern Light. So I was going to use this shade to kind of deepen up, but I really don't need to use a lot of it to do that, because that one was so rich in tone on my eyelid here. I'm gonna just pull this out just a little bit here. There we go. Now we're gonna take a rougher 13 and we're gonna go into this shade Orion McKenzie. So this one here. So far I've used this one, and I'm going into that one. That is so a nice little gradient there. That's what I was going for. I'm gonna probably dip again into Auckland Stardome just to like make sure that that gradient is gradienty. Is that a word? It is now. It's so funny because I never, like I said, I never think of myself as like a purple shadow girl. But every time I wear a purple shadow, I'm like, Purple used to be my favorite color when I was a little girl, by the way. It's not anymore, and I think it's just because I'm all purpled out. Because when I say purple was my favorite color as a little girl, let me give you some detail about that. My favorite color was purple as a little girl. My room was painted purple. It was painted like a lavender purple, like a lavender shade. I will say of purple, I think lavender is probably my favorite tone of purple, shade of purple. But yeah, my room was painted like a lavender, slightly deeper lavender with a rainbow and clouds. And my favorite dress was purple. My favorite shoes were purple. My favorite coat was purple. So by the time I was 10 years old, I was kind of purpled out. I was like, it's time for greener pastures. Haha. If you get the joke, then you know, green is my favorite color now. I love green. I love green so much. And it's been my favorite color for many, many years. So I feel like I'm safe in saying that green is my favorite color. I'm just gonna dip a little bit more into Auckland Stardome because I want to make sure that these are blending in a nice little gradient on my lid. That's so pretty. There we go. Now we're going to, and I'm going to grab my rougher 21. It's time for the multichromes, and I don't know which one I want to use now because I'm like, I mean, Karina Nebula colors like these always catch mine, but I feel like Southern Cross. Oh, or maybe I should do Milky Way. Which one? I don't know. They're so pretty. Oh, and I didn't even swatch Aurora Australis. This one. This one's more like that. It's like white to peak shift. These tones I like to use like in my inner corner and things like that. I think I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna go for, especially since I'm wearing blue. I'm wearing a blue sweater. So let's go into Milky Way. And I'm applying this straight from the pan with my brush. I'm not spraying my brush or anything because I just want to see how this performs on its own. It's really pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is, you can see here, I left like a little bit of a gap. I'm going to apply another shade there. We're going to stick with that gradient kind of theme here. And just take this most of the way, but not all of the way across the lid. These are applying so nicely. There we go. So as you can see, I've got that little gap. Alrighty. So what shade do I want to use now? Now, I think I want to use Karina Nebula. This one I will spray. This one feels a little flakier to me than Milky Way did. So I'm going to spray my brush just to make sure that those flakes stay on my eye and not on my face. And of course you can use a glitter glue to apply these. I have a glitter glue, I just hardly ever use it because I just can't be bothered. It just feels like one more step that I just don't care to partake in most of the time. Like if I'm applying like a straight glitter, which I very rarely do, then sure. But outside of that, I'm just not, like, I can't be bothered. All right, I'm gonna flip this brush again and I'm gonna take a little bit more of Milky Way because I want to make sure that these are blending, kind of fading into each other a little bit better and more seamlessly. I'm just taking a little bit of that shade to marry them in the middle. Great, and then I'm gonna take this Orion McKenzie shade again and I wanna just go over the edges, just making sure everything is blending and looking somewhat seamless. I'm going to take a little bit more and now I'm just going to take it over the edge here. Above those shades. There we go. How pretty is that? All right, let's do the lower lash line. And I think for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go softer. What does that mean? I'm gonna use the shade Queenstown Skyline, which is a super neutral shade. It looks quite light on camera, but it's actually, I would describe it as like a light peach. And so it's not going to show up super pigmented on my skin tone, but I'm just more putting this down as like a base to blend over. And I'm using a Refer number 2, which really isn't the right kind of, I mean, you can use that for this. I've been using this on my lower lash line to kind of softly smoke my lash line, my lower lash line out. And I've been enjoying that. So yeah, if you want to use something a bit more like specific, then of course use a pencil brush or something like that. I'm then going to use this tiny little one because now I'm going into deeper color, so I want a little bit more control. So now I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm going to go into Southern Lights again because I just want to kind of marry these. I don't want it to be too disparate of a look, but I do want this one to be slightly lighter or just different in tone. And just applying that lighter shade over, you know, underneath Queenstown Skyline first, and then applying this Southern Lights, it's already making it a little bit softer because that shade applied so rich on my skin. And I want it a little lighter. There we go. And now we're going to go into the Cosmos, which is this like, kind of like steely gray shade. And again, I'm just kind of creating like a soft gradient of shades. I'm actually taking this Cosmos color over the Southern Lights one because I just want that pink to be kind of like underneath, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? There we go. All right, now I am going to just deepen this up a little bit, but I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use this Carter Observatory shade, which is like this sort of like bluey purple blurple tone. We love a good blurple. I'm trying to incorporate more color into my wardrobe, my work wardrobe. I've fallen into the trap of wearing mostly black all the time. And I used to not be like that. Like in my old job, I was more like a neutrals kind of girl. Like if, you know, in the winter, I would wear a lot of like camel, browns, creams, things like that with black, you know, like, and black thrown in there, of course. But I feel like I've kind of like completely fallen off any kind of color when it comes to my wardrobe in the winter in my current position. So these tones here, this is Megalithic Clouds and Jewel Box. I think I'm going to use jewel box on the lower lash line. I'm going to spray my brush because as you pick it up with the brush, it gets quite flaky. So I want to make sure that that doesn't fall all over my face. So I'm wearing a purple sweater. I just bought a purple, well, blue. It's blue. It's like a deep, rich indigo blue. But I feel like if you put it up against purple, it'll look blurple, which I kind of like. Alrighty, and now we're going to take Megalonic, and I hope I'm saying that right, clouds, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, guys, I am going to go apply some mascara. All right, guys, I am back. So I've applied my mascara, and so the makeup look is complete. I have to say, I really enjoyed using this. I feel like I'm constantly having to eat my words. I made this like huge declarative statement about how I was over multi-chromes, and at the time I was, and then I started getting all these palettes with fabulous multi-chromes in them, and now I'm like, maybe we should rethink that stance, Samira, because I am loving these tones. And what I'm really excited to do, one of my favorite things to do, is to take a palette that has these sort of like really soft neutral type of multi-chromes and do a neutral look with them, and then use those multi-chromes with them, because you get that vibe of like softness of the neutral tones, but the bang and the oomph and the, you know, maximum impact of like a soft multi-chrome. So I can't wait to try that with this palette. But yeah, I'm really quite happy with this. And again, the multi-chromes blended like a dream. I will say, like I've said before about Nomad's formulation, is that sometimes their metallics can be too firmly pressed. I didn't find that to be the case with these. I will say Milky Way is probably, of the ones that I've used, Milky Way and probably Aurora Australis and Megalonic Clouds are the ones that are the least flaky. They're a little bit more finely milled, whereas I would say like Karina Nebula and Jewel Box and Southern Cross are a bit flakier. You get that more like traditional like flaky vibe of some certain multi-chromes. I'm really happy with this look. This palette, I will say, is the first palette I've tried from Nomad that isn't in a sort of like neutral tone territory. I know that Ghost Town wasn't neutral, but it had a whole section that was quite neutral. And for me, like greens are, especially when they're sort of like that muted dusty green, they can kind of veer into neutral territory. So this is my first like colorful palette from Nomad, and I'm very happy with how it performed. Yeah, I'm enjoying this look. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, if you're going to be picking this up. This launches, this is going up Monday, so this launches on the 16th, so tomorrow. So if you're interested in this, I will leave the link down below. I also have an affiliate code for you guys, so if you want to save some money, I don't get anything off from that. It's just for you guys to use if you would like to save a little money on your purchase on the Nomad website. I will leave the code in the description box down below, and I'll try to remember to put it here as well. Editing a mirror will have to remember to do that, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys. Are you interested in this palette? Are you picking it up? Do you enjoy this look? Let me know. And if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.